The 1970s weren't perfect, but Black families knew how to find joy in the everyday moments that cost little, but meant everything. These weren't elaborate vacations or expensive entertainment. Joy came from Saturday morning rituals, Sunday afternoon gatherings, and weeknight routines that turned ordinary days into memories. Here are 12 ways Black families found pure joy during the 1970s, turning modest means into magnificent memories. 1. Saturday morning Soul Train watch parties. Every Saturday morning, Black households across America tuned in to Soul Train like it was a sacred ritual. Kids rushed through their chores just to claim the best spot in front of the TV. Don Cornelius's smooth voice welcomed everyone to the hippest trip in America, and for the next hour, living rooms transformed into dance floors. Families watched the Soul Train line with amazement, critiquing dancers' moves and arguing about who had the best style. Mothers sat on the couch with their coffee, nodding along to the music. Kids tried to imitate the complex footwork they saw on screen, sliding across linoleum floors in their socks. The show wasn't just entertainment, it was cultural affirmation, proof that Black music, fashion, and dance deserved the spotlight. When your favorite artist performed, everyone stopped what they were doing to watch. Soul Train made Saturday morning special, giving Black families a weekly celebration of their culture that felt like a party they were all invited to. Second Sunday dinners that brought everyone home. Sunday dinner wasn't just a meal. It was the event that pulled families together no matter what else was happening. After church, everyone knew they were expected home for the big meal of the week. Grandmothers and mothers spent hours in the kitchen preparing fried chicken, collard greens, macaroni and cheese, candied yams, and cornbread that made the whole house smell like heaven. The table stretched to accommodate everyone: parents, kids, grandparents, aunts, uncles, and whoever else needed a place to eat. Conversations flowed freely, mixing laughter with serious discussions about family matters. Kids sat at the children's table, sneaking bites of dessert before it was officially served. These dinners lasted for hours because nobody rushed through them. Plates were piled high, seconds were encouraged, and leftovers were divided up for people to take home. Sunday dinner represented stability, love, and the understanding that no matter how busy life got, family gathered around food at least once a week. That tradition created bonds that held families together through everything. 3. Block parties that turned streets into festivals. Summer weekends meant block parties where entire neighborhoods came together for music, food, and dancing in the street. Someone would set up speakers in their front yard, playing the latest funk and soul hits while kids ran wild, and adults stood around talking and laughing. Grills appeared on every porch with the smell of barbecue mixing with music in the warm air. Tables were set up with contributions from each household: potato salad, baked beans, fried chicken, and desserts that created impromptu potlucks. The street became a dance floor where people of all ages showed off their moves. Kids played games, rode bikes, and ran through sprinklers while parents kept watch from lawn chairs. These block parties cost almost nothing to organize, but created community bonds that lasted all year. Neighbors who barely spoke during the week became friends over shared plates and shared music. As the sun set and the streetlights came on, people would slowly drift home, tired but happy, already looking forward to the next gathering. 4. Record parties in basement recreation rooms. Basements and rec rooms became party venues where teenagers and young adults gathered to dance to the latest records. Someone always had the newest albums: Parliament Funkadelic, Earth, Wind and Fire, the Ohio Players, and the music played loud enough to make the walls vibrate. Dim lighting, maybe some black lights or colored bulbs, created an atmosphere that felt special and grown up. Couples slow danced during the ballads, and everyone joined in when the funk got going. These parties were where young people learned to dance, where friendships deepened, and where romances began. Parents stayed upstairs, occasionally checking in, but mostly letting young people have their space. The cost was minimal: records, snacks, and maybe some soda. But the memories lasted forever. These basement parties taught social skills, confidence, and the joy of music and movement. For Black youth in the 1970s, these gatherings represented freedom, self-expression, and the creation of their own cultural spaces. 5. Friday night, fish fries at home or church. Friday meant fried fish, a tradition that brought people together over hot plates of whiting, catfish, or perch fried golden and crispy. Some families made it a home tradition, with mothers frying fish while kids set the table, and everyone gathered for a meal that felt like a weekly celebration. Other families went to church fish fries, community events where the smell of frying fish drew crowds, and the fellowship mattered as much as the food. Long tables were set up with fish, coleslaw, hush puppies, and hot sauce, and people ate until they were stuffed. Kids ran around playing while adults caught up on news and gossip. The fish fry wasn't fancy dining. It was communal eating at its best, where everyone was welcome and nobody left hungry. These Friday traditions created rhythm in the week, something to look forward to as the weekend began. For Black families in the 1970s, Fish Fry Fridays represented community, tradition, and the simple pleasure of good food shared with good people. 6. Roller skating to disco and funk at local rinks. Roller rinks became weekend destinations where Black kids and teenagers gathered to skate, socialize, and show off their moves to the hottest music. The DJ played disco, funk, and soul hits, while colored lights flashed and mirror balls spun overhead. Couples skated hand in hand during the slow jams, and everyone formed lines during the fast songs, weaving around the rink in synchronized patterns. The couples skate was the highlight, when the lights dimmed and only certain people were allowed on the floor, creating moments of teenage romance and nervous excitement. Renting skates, buying snacks from the concession stand, and spending hours circling the wooden floor cost just a few dollars, but created memories that lasted forever. Kids who couldn't afford much else could still afford roller skating, making it accessible entertainment that everyone enjoyed. For Black families in the 1970s, the roller rink represented safe, fun spaces where young people could be themselves, make friends, and feel the freedom of gliding to music that spoke to their souls. 7. Watching Good Times and the Jeffersons as family. Creating mixtapes from radio shows. Before streaming and downloads, capturing your favorite songs meant sitting by the radio with a cassette recorder, waiting for the DJ to play your jam. Kids became experts at hitting record at just the right moment, trying to avoid getting the DJ's voice at the beginning or end of the song. Making a good mixtape required patience, planning, and a little bit of luck. The finished tape became a prized possession, played until the tape wore thin and the sound quality degraded. Mixtapes were also love letters, carefully curated collections of songs recorded for that special someone, with each song chosen to send a message. Friends traded tapes, introducing each other to new music and building shared soundtracks to their lives. The effort required made each tape special, unlike today's instant playlists. For Black families and young people in the 1970s, making mixtapes represented creativity, dedication, and the deep connection between music and emotion. 9. Summer days at public pools and spray parks. When the heat hit, Black families headed to public pools and spray parks for relief and fun that didn't cost much. Kids spent entire days at the pool, swimming until their fingers were wrinkled and their skin smelled like chlorine. Parents sat poolside in lawn chairs, watching and talking while kids played Marco Polo and did cannonballs. Public pools were social spaces where families saw neighbors and friends, where kids made new friends, and where everyone cooled off together. Some neighborhoods had spray parks where water shot up from the ground, and kids ran through in their swimsuits, screaming with joy. These simple pleasures didn't require expensive vacations or private clubs. They just required showing up with a towel and some sunscreen. For Black families in the 1970s, public pools and spray parks represented democratic fun, places where everyone was welcome, and summer days stretched out endlessly under the sun. 10. Playing Whist and Spades at kitchen tables. Card games brought adults together for hours of competition, trash talk, and laughter that filled houses with energy. Whist and Spades were serious business, with partners who knew each other's playing styles and could communicate without speaking. Tables were set up in kitchens or living rooms, ashtrays nearby, drinks within reach, and snacks available for grazing. The games lasted late into the night, with conversations flowing between hands and friendly arguments erupting over questionable plays. Kids learned by watching, absorbing the strategies and the social dynamics that made these games about more than just cards. When you finally got invited to play with the adults, it meant you'd arrived, that you were trusted to handle the competition and the camaraderie. These card games built friendships, settled disputes, and created regular gatherings that people looked forward to all week. For Black families in the 1970s, card games represented affordable entertainment that strengthened social bonds and created legendary rivalries. 11. Attending family reunions at parks and pavilions. Summer family reunions brought extended families together from near and far for a day of food, games, and catching up. Parks were rented, pavilions reserved, and families arrived with contributions to massive potluck spreads. Elders sat in chairs telling stories while younger generations played softball, volleyball, and ran races. The food tables groaned under the weight of dishes representing different family branches: fried chicken, ribs, potato salad, baked beans, and enough desserts to feed an army. Photo sessions captured family groups, with everyone squeezing together, and someone always arriving late, just as the photographer was finishing. These reunions connected generations, introduced cousins to each other, and reinforced family identity and history. Kids learned who they were related to and how, hearing stories about grandparents and great-grandparents who'd overcome incredible obstacles. For Black families in the 1970s, reunions represented roots, resilience, and the understanding that family extended far beyond your household. 12. Dancing in living rooms to parents' record collections. The living room became a dance floor when parents pulled out their record collections and taught kids the dances of their youth. The Temptations, Aretha Franklin, James Brown, and Marvin Gaye filled the house with sounds that made it impossible to sit still. Parents showed off their moves, the twist, the mashed potato, the funky chicken, while kids tried to copy them, everyone laughing at each other's attempts. These spontaneous dance parties cost nothing but created joy that radiated through the whole house. Neighbors might knock on the door to see what the celebration was about, and before long, they'd be dancing too. Music connected generations, with parents sharing the songs of their youth and kids developing appreciation for the classics. These living room dance sessions taught rhythm, confidence, and the understanding that joy could be created anytime you wanted it. For Black families in the 1970s, dancing together represented freedom, expression, and the pure happiness that came from moving to music you loved. These 12 ways of finding joy didn't require wealth or privilege. They required only the willingness to create happiness from what was available: music, food, community, and each other. Black families in the 1970s understood that joy wasn't something you bought. It was something you made through traditions that brought people together and moments that became memories. Today's world moves faster, with entertainment options that earlier generations couldn't imagine, but something has been lost in the speed and convenience. The slow joy of Saturday morning Soul Train, the anticipation of Sunday dinner, the community of block parties. These weren't just activities. They were the threads that wove families and neighborhoods into something stronger than the sum of their parts. Looking back, these simple pleasures were anything but simple. They were the foundation of childhood happiness, the creation of cultural identity, and proof that the best things in life really were free. Which of these joys do you remember most? Drop a comment and share the 1970s moments that still make you smile.